Cars are getting more expensive to fix. They're getting smarter. You know, someday I think the car's going to drive itself. Follow that tag down the line. I don't know how it's going to hit an off-ramp. You know, you'd probably be able to program into the car where you want to go. You know, the cars now, they come up onto another car and slow down. And when you put your turn signal on and go into that lane, it'll speed itself right back up again. I've got that on my motorhome.
Wow.
If I come up behind you in my motorhome, it'll automatically slow me down to your speed, and travel 60 feet behind you. Exactly. You set the distance. And I'll put on my turn signal, and I'll pull over, and once you're out of my sonar range, it'll automatically pick me back up to my cruise speed again.
Huh.
And when I get into that zone, it'll beep beep. It won't blow the horn, but it blows a horn inside the coach and tells me, "Hey, buddy, you're coming up on somebody. Wake up if you're sleeping," or whatever. You're not paying attention, I take it. You know, I have something else that cars are starting to come out with. I put on my turn signal, and if there's a vehicle on the side of me, it'll blow a red light and also that same horn. And it'll say, "Hey, there's somebody over there." If that light is not green, there's 3 lights on my windshield pillar posts. Red, yellow, and green. Red means somebody's there. Yellow means there's somebody close to the back of you or to the front of you. And green means pull around over.
Wow.
They're going to put that in cars. I know they are.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't they? It's going to save lives. Well, Volvo has that car now where I was talking to Gorgeous Volvo one day. I went to dinner with them. And they have that car that will automatically apply the brakes if you're coming up on somebody too fast. And it will not let you rear end the car in front of you.
Huh.
Mercedes, I think, does it too. It takes complete control away from you.
Wow.
It is. It's crazy. And now, Mike, if you sit and think about this, when a car's in a front end hit, that sensor's going to get hit. And we all know them cars are still going to get in accidents.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a car's coming this direction and you went through the intersection here, and that by the time that sensor caught you, it was 10 feet away because it didn't see you this way because it was supposed to see you this way, and it's going to hit that sensor. I need to stay up on all that technology. If I don't stay on the cutting edge of technology, iCar is an agency that's out there that takes information from all the auto manufacturers and places it into an education program for body shops and insurance companies. All of my shops are iCar Gold. To work for certain insurance companies, you have to be iCar Gold. That means you meet all the standards. You can do anything to a car because you've been educated and you are at the gold class on sectioning, welding, how to repair a boron steel panel or to replace it, which you have to replace all of them. But they teach you all these different high strength and mid strength steel. Some can be sectioned, some can't. Some have certain areas to be sectioned. You just can't. What I mean by sectioning is the car gets hit in the front. And you're not going to put in the whole frame rail because it's only bent this far back. You can't straighten it because it's high strength steel. You can't heat it, you can't pull it. It won't pull. If you pull it, it cracks. If you heat it, it cracks. You lose the strength of the steel. Some guys will just pull them out and get them kind of close and put the bumper back on it, send it down the road. And the next time that car's in an accident, that high strength area is gone and it's going to sandwich further back now. And all of a sudden it's going to get back into the cab compartment and start hurting people.
Yeah.
So you need to learn on where and how, from the manufacturer, they're going to give you all the guidelines, where that rail can be sectioned, or if it cannot be sectioned, you got to put the whole rail in. Well, putting in a whole rail means you got to pull the motor and the transmission. So now you got to pull the engine cradle, which is what holds the whole thing into the car. You got to pull the motor, the transmission out. You take all the rims and the tires and the suspension and everything off the front. You drop it all out. Now all you got is a shell hanging out there. And you got to go in there and put that rail in. Well, that rail welds in underneath your feet. So now you got to pull the carpet and the dash. So it's important for us to be able to stay up on our education and be able to come in and section that in the appropriate spot that the manufacturer says. So I send all of my body men, my managers, my estimators, everybody working for me, go to, they're called LICAR classes. So they stay up on it. Hybrid cars, electric cars, ABS, airbags. I mean, did you know if I'll give you an example. I think in that drawer right over there I got lineman's gloves. I don't know if they're still in here or not. I got them. No, they're not. When you work on an electric car, unhooking and hooking the battery, you better have on a pair of lineman's gloves because it can kill you.
I didn't even think of that.
Now, as a car coasts, the electric motors turn into alternators and produce electricity on a true electric car. So let's say a car's in an accident and it comes into my shop and you got to push it. And the electric wire is severed, sitting up against a piece of steel. And you push that car and it makes its own current. Anybody touching that car can get electrocuted.
Wow.
And see, this is where people think, oh, you're just fixing cars. It is so much more advanced than just fixing cars. We're fixing things that kill people if they're not fixed right. We're fixing things that, if not properly staged inside of a shop and do a complete blueprinting of the vehicle, it could kill one of my guys. If you are not on top of it and know how to pull the fuse and where the fuse is, and you have to go to all this training to learn all this, it just isn't, you don't pick up a newspaper and start reading about it because it's not there. You have to go through schooling. You need to know how to deprogram an electric car properly, or you can also ruin the battery. If an electric car sits so long without having the battery getting charged and decharged in a daily use, battery needs to come out, and the manufacturer needs to come and get it and put on a special charger. I mean, some of these batteries are probably 7 to 10 grand on cars. I heard all the way up to 14,000 for electric batteries. So, you know, the day of taking a 78 Malibu with the 350 and the turbo 350 transmission behind it and some 15-inch tires on some steel wheels, but they got the rally rims and the cool center caps.
Yep.
They're gone. Those days are gone.